Alright team, so this is the animation that we are going to be doing today. It's an idle animation, very generic, just simple gamey loop animation of the idle. Alright, so let's get to it. Already in at 30 frames per second, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these keys. Make sure everything is gone. Right now I got it at 63 frames. I want to throw it at 60 frames. There we go. Alright, so I want to set a key on all my controllers on frame 1, frame 30, and frame 60. And from here, I'm going to tackle the cog first, right in here. Well, probably not the whole thing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to squish him down a little bit, just a tad. So when he's breathing, he breathes in, he breathes out. Then I'm going to grab all 3 spine controllers, or however many spine controllers you may have in yours, and I'm going to push it down just a smidge. Let's go point 0.3. 0.3 should be good. So it's a negative 0.3, all on frame 30. And you should have something that sort of looks like this. Very generic, up and down, looping. So from here, I want to add in a bit of rotation on the spine. So I'm going to go to about frame 14 as the character comes down. Actually grab the top spine controller about frame 15. Put this on. If I hold down E and oops, if I hold down E in the middle, or right click or left click, I can change it to object or world. I'm going to change it to world space, just that everything stays even in the front view. So I'm just going to push the torso down a little bit. And then right here, I'm going to have it down just a little bit. So he sort of breathes in, like his chest sort of caves in there. And then from there, I'm going to now go back to my cog, go to about frame 16, go to the side view, push him to the, what is this, screen left. Then go to, let's say, about 45, push him screen right a little bit. And I mean just a little, it's enough. You're going to get this little swaying back and forth type of thing, or side to side. It's just to add to the motion a little bit. And you got a little bit of a hitch that's going. We'll tackle that a little bit later. So now what I want to do is I want to do that same thing, but I want to push him forward on frame 30 just a little bit and leave it at frame 60. This is just to get some more motion into the character. So now that I got this generic motion going, I'm going to tackle this aspect that is side to side that's sort of having a small hitch. And bring up my graph editor. If you don't have graph editors, Windows, general editors, animation editors, graph editors. I'm going to go to, I believe it is my X. But now I want to go up here, hit post infinity and pre-infinity, and that will allow me to see the keys basically going either way for infinity. And here's where my hitch is happening. I'm going to go ahead and select the key and then grab the handles and move them so they're sort of in line and sort of match the other one on the other side, which will allow my looping not to hitch. Oops. So now the character doesn't hitch towards the end or in the middle of it. And if you have any other controllers that are doing similar things, you can do that as well. So now we just have the waist and the spine animated, and you got this nice little motion going. So what I want to do now is sort of add the clavicles and make sure the controllers for your arms, they can be an IK or FK, but I want to leave them in FK, but make sure the controllers on your arm are FK space. You want to make sure they're in world. And if you're in IK, You want to make sure they're in world, but you want to make sure they are oh no, I think in the world you actually want to make sure they're in space, because if they're in world, just the IK would sort of move without the body. But put this in FK, make your life a lot simpler, especially with the rig without all the functionality on it. So now we're going to go to our clavicles. With the clavicles, what I'm going to do is that the character goes down, I want to push his clavicles down, not much, just enough. Oops. One thing I meant to mention, select them both. You want to go back and hit your E, hold it down, left click, and go to world, or object, sorry, go to object. Once on object mode, and you have both clavs selected at the same time, you can use the Z rotation, and it'll rotate the arms simultaneously in the right direction you need them to go. We need them to go down a little bit. Maybe just even with the arms here. So what's happening is as he goes down, he's breathing down, his shoulders are going down, and then they're coming back up. Now what we're going to do is sort of offset that. So as he comes down, instead of his shoulders coming down right away, I want to have them offset a little bit. So I'm going to go to frame 4, middle mouse, and then go to frame about 14 and press S and set a key. What that does, so if I drastically do this, so you can see the full effect of it. I'm going to put it down here, delete this, go to frame 4, go to frame 12. And you see that the delay just happens a little bit sooner. But I want to have it here just so it's a little bit, because I don't want to go too extreme. So the shoulders come down and then they're coming back up. But on the way back up, I want to delay them just a little bit. But instead of copying frame 30, I want to go to about frame 33, middle mouse to about 42. And that gives a little bit delay on the shoulders, and the clavicle is sort of coming up, and then you'll have your generic idle animation about, let's say, 75% done. Alright, so now we got everybody moving, got one nice little looping animation. The only thing I haven't done or touched are the fingers and the head, but let's go with the head first. Now with the head, as he goes down, I want to go at frame 12 and tilt his head up just a little bit, as if he's doing one of these kind of things. At frame 30, I might niche it down just a little bit, but at frame 40, I want to niche it down just a little bit so that he goes, sort of gets this thing going. So what I'm basically doing is offsetting the rotation of the head with the body, so it looks like when the torso goes down, the head sort of doing this kind of thing. And this is, like I said, a real gamey type idle. You know, you'll see a lot in a lot of games that are not trying to hit realistic motions or anything like that. You just get this nice little fluid looping animation. This is a very generic everything pose from everything. So right now I got my head animating, and now it's time to either tackle or not tackle the hands. So with the hands, what I want to do, just to keep it simple, I'm going to select both sides of all the fingers. On the Y-axis, you should be able to grab the Y-axis and go into a fist mode, but make sure you hold down E and you go and you left click, please left click, and object. You want to make sure it's in object mode, or not object mode, but just object rotation, so that when you grab the Y, all of them rotate in the same axis. And all you're going to do is basically at frame 30, just put some life to them, and that's it. And if you want, you can offset them and everything. And here's a quick, easy way to offset them: is you grab all your controllers, you go into your graph editor, make sure everything's selected, and you want to put your post infinity on, and then you just sort of simply, oops, middle mouse, drag to the right or left. Let's sort of offset the finger motion. This is like overall. I just sort of grab and move them overall, and just sort of, so it doesn't necessarily match 100% with the up and down. it sort of offsets a little bit, and you can easily grab individual fingers and offset them so that you can get this nice little motion like so. But for this basic animation for an idol, this will be it. And yeah, it's a basic animation idol. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions or anything, just hit me up. Alright, have a good one. Bye.